Hello everyone, today we have an absolute blast of a deck that I call the Swan Song. It is not one that is necessarily unique, it has been floating around, but it is incredibly strong, and it can do some really high power plays that are really hard to gauge on your opponent's end, so they don't know exactly what your power output can be or where that power is going to fall, which makes those last turn plays very difficult for them. Being able to use that and leverage that into higher cube gains, a lot of times you can get some bigger cube equity versus something like a junk deck where the opponent is going to know that they lost beforehand and end up retreating for 1 or 2, versus this one ending for 2, 4, or sometimes even 8 cubes at a time. We can get a lot of value going back our way. Over the 17 games that I ran with this deck, we maintained just under a 65% win rate. We gained over 1 cube per game, so 1.24 cubes gained per game on average, which is absolutely wild. We went on a really good tear with this, and I would definitely recommend it. If you have Black Swan, if you have Sasquatch, this is a beautiful deck. It does really well into like all of the junk stuff that we're seeing. It does decently into Arsham, unless they hit their high roll. Those you may have to retreat out for, so if you're seeing a lot of that, maybe you pivot to something else. But there wasn't a single deck that it felt like this was an auto loss for. And so we're going to go ahead and keep the deck explanation relatively short, but the main idea is that you want to drop your 1-cost cards, you want to scale your Angela, your Bishop, and be able to drop into a Black Swan plus Falcon on turn number 5. That allows you to flood a just plethora of cards onto the board on the last turn of the game. Sometimes you're going to be able to do your Hitmonkey, other times you're going to be able to do a Sasquatch plus all of your 1-cost cards to put a lot of power on the board on the last turn. There are some games where you'll have a little bit more flood a little bit earlier, and maybe you can drop Sasquatch a couple of turns early. It does give them a very finite amount of power that they're then fighting against, but otherwise you're going to be able to pump out a lot of additional power to backfill it after that point. Overall, I had a blast with the list. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think of this format in the comment section down below. And thank you guys for being here on the Video On Demand channel. We are so close to that 1,000 subs. So if you're seeing this but you're not subbed, I would greatly appreciate the sub so that we can reach that milestone on this channel as well. So we're going to go ahead and jump over into the game showcase. Thank you guys for being here. And as always, I hope you guys enjoy. Al, they may have the ultimate card, the credit card. All right. Sasquatch becomes 2. But is it ever worth it to do that versus like Kitty Pride? Or maybe it becomes like this. That puts a lot to the left, a lot to the right. Depending on if they move Vision, Nocturne, they have a lot of scalable power. That's going to be hard to really pinpoint a direction. I think we're going to go and opt to go this instead of the Hitmonkey line, because Sasquatch is so cheap. I keep buying credits and use keys so the tokens build up. Yeah, it's a lot of, but that's a lot. That's 10 new releases that you can pull with just your tokens alone, which is craziness. All right, so they don't move the Vision. Alliath in mid, perfectly fine. The Demon in the left. Can we outscale the 23? I think we do, right? Yeah. Wild. Okay. Not even the best ideal hand here, and we're able to drop just a chunk of power. So we're off to a good start. All right, we're gonna go ahead and skip on 1 here. And they go with Squirrel Girl into Mojo World. Let's go ahead and play our Angela. We do have Beast this time around, so we can try to angle for another big Sasquatch play on the last turn. We can change Danger Room. Let's go ahead and do that. That way we know that we can play there. Sabretooth. Ooh, we're looking at a like a Death Destroy deck. So we have to look out for like Lady Deathstrike. We have to look out for Killmonger as well. But as it is, pulling their death from the White Palace is so big. We don't have initiative, so really the only risk right now is Nico. We can do Bishop into Kitty Pryde. Next turn, maybe we angle to do Beast all in the left lane, potentially. Depending on what they drop. So X23, new deck I didn't notice. Yeah, we switched off of the other one into Swan Song. The other one still does incredibly well. I really enjoy it, but I thought it was time to maybe test out a little bit something different. And so the X23 does stay in the left lane. Death goes down to 5. I definitely need your opponent's deck for Sabretooth. We'll do our best to pull as much of it as possible. So depending on where they play, we could always full send in the left. I think we do. Full send in the left. If they use something like Killmonger, if they destroy more, they're helping out our death. This is going to bring Sasquatch down to 2 cost next turn. And then our free 1 drops, and then maybe a death as well. Yeah, I think Coffee Cat will be really good. I think it's going to be flexible, like just the value or the information that it provides, even if it's unplayable, will sometimes allow you to either retreat for 1, or that is a free death. That is beautiful. Either retreat for 1 or stay in for like a big cube. Like against this deck, for instance, if we pulled it and saw that we had their null. Not only do we have a really big null, we know that they don't have one. So we get a lot of benefit in that knowledge. And so the Venom, the X23, we know that they have death. We have to look out for null.
All systems go.
But otherwise, I think we're in a really good spot here. We can play anything that we draw. So the best would have been Hit Monkey. The probably worst would be Hood. This one is kind of a follow-up. So we can go big in the left lane. Into big in mid. Is this too big in the left lane? Would be my biggest concern. And are they going to play more than a couple of cards there? I feel like it's probably overkill in this lane. So just something like Death, Rocket. Oh wait, Death, Falcon, Rocket into Sasquatch, Kitty Pryde, Titania. That's what we're gonna log. He has your Sasquatch too. That's true, but he didn't play very many cards last turn, did he? So the Death to the right, Sasquatch to the left with the Nico. We should scale and outscale that between the Falcon, between the Rocket, and the Angela scaling in that left lane. So I don't think it'll be a big issue. And then we do have Sasquatch, so we at the very least tie in the right lane, and it comes down to a point differential. And so we are able to just explode a ridiculous amount of power out onto the board, pumping about 60 power across, I think, which is kind of crazy for all of the low ball stuff. And we will gladly take the 2. Let's jump over into the next one. I missed you guys. And it was something that whenever I was able to I realized one night that I was bored. And, then I started kind of poking around. It got to the point where I couldn't even load my email because I would have the Twitch notifications and things like that. And I just got sad that I wasn't able to do it. And I felt like I had abandoned all of you guys. And so whenever I finally worked through that, I worked up the courage to make a post. And I'm so glad that I did. In my own time, I'm glad I was able to. Do you enjoy other games besides Snap? Cliff, I enjoy really anything that you can think of as far as games. I've probably dabbled in just about every game that you could imagine that's out there. And so very much a gamer, a game enjoyer. So from growing up, it used to be Nintendo. I would blow on the game cartridges. I would use the alcohol wipes to try to make them load correctly. And then eventually moving up into the other systems and other games, but I've always enjoyed them. Just got back into 7 Days. Toon Age. hopefully you're enjoying it. That's the biggest thing. And then the next thing is try not to fall into the FOMO. Loopy Fist, welcome in, Loopy Fist. I'm glad that you're here. I don't know if you were maybe lurking for a while, but I'm glad you're here. Hopefully you're having a fantastic week so far. But Toon H, try not to fall into like the FOMO of like missing out on cards, because that can get you really, really quickly if you're not watching it. And so, Super Mario World, yeah, definitely was Super Mario. I enjoyed Donkey Kong Country. I think maybe as much as Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo days. Played like regular. There was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. I think it was on the NES. That was just ridiculously hard. It was probably the hardest game I played as a kid, and I may or may not have cried a little bit on certain portions of it because I just wanted to get past it so badly. But the Hefty Messiah with the emote only chat coming in. Let's go ahead and launch into the emote only chat until the remainder of the game. We will see you guys back once again. And then Captain, I'm blessed that you guys are here to enjoy the content and enjoy me being live. We could do Nico into Sasquatch if we wanted to. We could also do like Nico, Demon, Kitty Pride, Beast. Would give us 1, 2, 3, 4 extra cards. We wouldn't draw next turn, but we'd have quite a bit of flexibility. That's going to be another 2-cost Sasquatch. I don't think I've seen Black Swan once since we loaded this game. Ooh, the Mobius is massive for him, unfortunately. It's rough stuff. Pulling into these cards, we definitely that hurts the Sasquatch. That hurts all of the beasted cards that would be free. Definitely a lot of bit rough here. But we drop initiative, which is good. We don't have to worry about the Shang-Chi. We have to worry about the rocket coming back down. This is not anywhere near as good as it was before. Hitmonkey would pull into Asteroid M, so it would have to be this. But I don't think this beats their rocket over there. But we're going to try it anyways. We're going to see what we can make happen here. Even with the Mobius line hamstringing us quite a bit, we might have maybe a little bit of potential. Fry? Fry hitting us with the pumper emote because we are going to be the biggest pumper here. So Spider-Man pulls Nico. Okay, good pull. Had it pulled Bishop, that would have been a concern, but Rocket to the right is fine. Hitmonkey to the right is fine. I think, ooh, their Bishop continues to scale. Maybe not. I may be coping. I don't think our Bishop is going to scale, and our Hitmonkey doesn't have enough room to grow, unfortunately. Definitely went a bit too heavy in Nidavellir. The Spider-Man play was... Wait! Spider-Man play was big. Pulling the Nico out and then back in was such a huge swing for him. But we get the tie just barely with the Hitmonkey. Whew. And we are able to pull in the 4 from Clifford here. Crazy matchup. We will gladly take the 4. Let's jump over into the next one. Keep on going. Chad is here to keep you comfortable. TLSG, nice guy. And honestly, if our if our streams continue to be like the one that it is today, these numbers, I would have no doubt that I could make that full-time transition. And so it's definitely something that I'm looking at very, very closely, and I would love to make streaming more consistently and more often a reality. So MSL Chamo, I'm not sure if they're going to be running junk. We haven't matched into them today. If they have a White Widow, probably ends up being a retreat. But otherwise, we're looking to hit our rocket at least once, maybe twice here. So into the Angela is a good lane for us. Danger Room's not such a great lane. We could destroy a card to get additional card draw. So we could do Nico into Falcon. Pull both of these back in. That'd be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the additional card draw. It might be worthwhile. And then they do play one card over to the left, which is really scary. With how much clutter and junk has been floating around, we don't have a good way to protect that lane. Okay, so Nocturne. Nocturne gives them a lot of flexible power and ways to change locations. But it's not a complete deal breaker in Bar Sinister either. So big Nico power. We can do Angela. I don't know that Rocket hits here. But instead we could do something like Nico plus Kitty Pryde. Still no... Fortunately, no Bishop. No Beast, Black Swan. I'll have to kind of play it by ear. Gwynpool ends up being pretty big, depending on what else they have built to their deck. I know MSL Chamo always runs pretty cohesive lists, and so we're always a little bit worried about what they've cooked up. Sasquatch gets a slight discount, but it's not going to be huge. Still no Beast either. Don't care for that line. We could try for Sasquatch in the left, but I feel like that would be a little susceptible to any kind of big counters. Maybe it's like a Bishop, Hood, Kitty Pryde. We'll see if Bishop sticks. They can move Nocturne, so they won't have to worry about the Danger Room after they move it. So the Falcon, the Mysterio in the right lane. Our Bishop does stick, and then our Hood doesn't, right? No, our Hood sticks too. So, curious what card got hit by Gwynpool. Because it could have been stacked onto one card. So 1, 2, 3, and then this. So that'd be 2, 4, 6. It'd be 9 power Hitmonkey. Plus it'd trigger again here. And so maybe that's what we angle towards. Is like Kitty Pryde, Rocket, Demon, Hitmonkey left. I'm not sure if it ever wins. But we'll see. And then after this game, you guys will be freed from the emote-only chat redemptions. Maybe now that we're getting a little bit bigger, maybe I do need to increase the cost of it just a little bit. But I appreciate all the emotes that do come through. My Binks sub may have ran out. I need to jump into Binks' stream at some point. So big Sasquatch in the left, coming in at 24 power over there. The Athena to the right. Our Hitmonkey becomes 9, and then the next one becomes like 14 power of its own, right? 17 power. We'll take it. That should give us the win over there. It's all about finding another lane to win in. And I don't think they played for mid here, right? And so Rocket's not going to scale extra, but that's okay. We should beat any kind of real Mysterio there. We outscale it, and we are able to bring home the 2. Wild amount of power and like awkward flexibility that this deck has. But let's go ahead and launch into our next one. Next up we have Ranger Smurf. We start with Nico. I am going to go ahead and play it because it will get doubled up in power on our next card play, and so then we can bring it back in, potentially have a pretty high power Nico to leverage towards the end of the game. We get Beast, but I don't want to drop him this early. So we're just gonna pass. So the Hood comes down into Hala. We don't have a way to really control or change this location, so we have to be careful with this one. We lose Sasquatch, which is unfortunate. We do draw Black Swan, which is fortunate. Ooh, and they lose their Hawk, which is really unfortunate. All right, let's go. I think I'm gonna snap. We have both Beast and Falcon. So we go Bishop this turn. Next turn, we do something like Titania, hopefully another 1 cost plus either Falcon or Beast, into doing the other one plus Black Swan on 5 is going to allow us to really scale our Bishop quite dramatically. And so Green Goblin comes down, not as afraid of Green Goblin as we would in other builds. Let's go with Titania. We go Beast in the left. We'll pull Green Goblin back in. We could always potentially send it back their way, which I think is incredibly funny. And so the double drop from them, they are going to lose their hood here, which is a good piece for them. We don't have to worry about the Annihilus line as much. But, okay, so debris coming down. That makes a Falcon pull much scarier. But we're also not capped out in Nidavellir. We can always do something like Green Goblin. Green Goblin, Black Swan. Or we go ahead and maybe bite the bullet. And we go Nico, Titania, Black Swan, Falcon. 1, 2, 3, 4 that we pull into. So we'd have space to pull all of them in, minus if Titania is on our side or not. But kind of like this. This gives us a really big Bishop. We have a lot of range of what we can play next turn. So maybe instead of the Titania here, maybe we go Rocket. Rocket. Oh wait, no we can't. That's why we didn't. Black Swan, Titania, Falcon. All right. Go ahead and send it in. And we are going to free you guys from the emote-only chat. I forgot for a second. They do have the Doc Ock. So it could have pulled into Green Goblin, which would have been fantastic. It did pull into Hitmonkey, which is still really, really big. Rocket's going to pull and scale here, and then we're going to pull it back in after the fact. Green Goblin would have been a little better, but that's all right. I'm pretty sure the problem, there is a problem with Arisham's randomness. They get their Shang and Blob almost always. They get it a lot of the time. And so Falcon is going to come in absolutely massive here. Now, we can't... we have both Titanias. And a completely free hand other than the Green Goblin. I think we go, like... Rocket? We worry about Titania in both of these lanes, really. So maybe we split the difference and we go like Titania, then Nico. That way if they get one, it's fine. I think we're just going to do this. This is too consistent to be really random. It does feel that way, but I'm not sure how true it holds. I know that whenever they top deck their Shang-Chi or their Blob on the last turn, it's definitely aggravating. But I don't know. Ranger Smurf is thinking this one through. That's the bad thing about bounce decks, is because it can just, like, you don't know what it's going to do. We do end up getting the retreat. Being able to vomit our hand on that last turn was so scary from trying to, like, figure out where cards were going to end up. We will take the 2. Let's jump over into the next one. Are you going to play a Man-Thing deck? I'll complete the quest, but I don't know that it's something that... How long are you going to be live? At least another hour. So we'll be live for a little bit longer. I'll push it as long as I can until I have to go pick up my daughter, but we'll be here for a bit. And then for a Man-Thing deck, I think in like a Spectrum Ongoing Shell it'd be fine. Or honestly, I may, if I'm not feeling him, I may end up doing... like Proving Ground Conquest and just complete the 4 games that way. With Ajax? No, I don't think I would run Ajax in the Spectrum Ongoing. At the 5-cost slot, it's really difficult to fit that in without like a Hazmat or really other big enablers. I need to do my quest. Do you have Arsham? Oh, Arsh, you can throw him in Arsh and probably never see him. Be fine. Celine feels bad? Yeah, Celine feels pretty bad. Oh, you mean Man-Thing and Ajax together? Yeah, you can. I mean, definitely if you're going the line of like Proving Grounds Conquest, you can do both of them together and probably be just fine. You said love it. Nearly 12 o'clock. So like 12 a.m. almost? My goodness. I appreciate you hanging out with me, Captain. So we have Hood. We have Hulkbuster. I think we go Kitty Pryde. We don't have a way to pull these in just yet. Maybe it goes something like this. Would you say Gwynpool over Sasquatch? In terms of like token purchases? Or in this particular build? In this build, I like Sasquatch. He's just like a big stat stick on that last turn, which kind of goes with what you're wanting to, like your game plan with the Black Swan. Ooh, we do get Beast. So do we Beast in just one card? I think we do. I think we Beast in the Rocket. We go ahead and play Black Swan, maybe in mid. Not sure why we haven't snapped into this yet. We'll be able to do all of these for free. The Sasquatch. Plus maybe whatever we draw on the last turn. The Gamora comes in, so big Gamora over there. TLSG, Sage, or Squatch in terms of tokens. Sage is more flexible. Oh, and then Sunrise. You mentioned my facial hair thing. I'm so glad that you enjoy it. I typically don't grow it out this far, and so I've been enjoying growing it out. But in terms, so as far as Sage or Sasquatch, I think Sage is a little bit easier to use, a little bit more flexible in a few more builds, and so I think that would be the direction I would probably recommend. So this would be 2, 4, 6, 8. So it'd end up being a little bit better than the Sasquatch here. Yeah, outside of Bounce, Sasquatch doesn't see a whole lot of play right now. So we could always go Rocket, Hit Monkey, Demon, Kitty Pryde, Titania. Oh, that is not a great typo, Taran. What can you swap for Hitmonkey in this deck? Hitmonkey is one of those that he's like that last turn power play. So I'm not. No, you're okay. I know you didn't mean to put it. So I'm not sure that there's a great sub for it. Do we think we can beat 25 in the left? Because this would be 8, 9, 10, 18. I have a chance. Maybe swap Demon and Kitty Pryde. We think we need more mid. We are going to scale the Bishop quite a bit. Ooh, that is a lot of commitment in the middle location. In the Wolfsbane and the Strong Guy. Why Monkey second? It doesn't matter when you play Monkey. He counts every card you played regardless. Posture check. Thank you for the reminder. We have the Angela. The Titania in the right lane is going to be enough to secure the 8 cubes against that pathetic fool. That was a big play in mid, very weak in the right lane. They just assumed that this lane was big enough. We'll take the 8 though. Ooh, we get a Sasquatch. They get a copy of something here. We don't know exactly what. But Panda Sushi, we may be able to do well against him. His record against Butt is Butt. It is absolutely Butt. Angela costs a little bit more now. We can do Falcon. We have the Beast line. We can turn whatever we play next into a Demon. But I think without being able to set up the Angela, I feel like I need to skip here. Because none of these lines are great. Unless it turned into Demon, Nico. Next turn would be like a Beast to the left. Turn the Beast into a Falcon. Or turn the Beast into a Demon. Oof. Angela is getting beat up here with all of the ice. That's headed her way. Atlantis comes in. We do get Black Swan, which is nice to see. Bud is a former rank 1 player. He's also Dexter's top mod. Yeah, Butt's always a really strong player. Usually it hasn't been like this bad. Usually we're pretty close. Like usually I can steal some, he steals some, but it's never been like as discrepant as it is right now. How long are you still on today? I'm thinking another like 40 minutes or so. Anyone keeping track of Butt's deck today? I may need to start keeping track of it. At least another 40 minutes or so. After that, I may have to run and go grab my daughter, but until then, we are live as long as we can. All right, let's go something like Nico. Hood gets destroyed. We could go Demon Falcon. Does Falcon pull anything back in? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. We might be able to play Sasquatch plus Black Swan. Or we just play a lot of our 1-cost cards alongside the Black Swan next turn, maybe. I guess we'll see. So they had a Black Swan. They played it on 4 instead of 5, so a very similar deck, except for they have Iceman, which actually was really disruptive against our Angela. I love that we're using Black Swan. Black Swan is one that I wanted to unlock for a while, but it just wasn't ever... I wasn't ever to find a great build for it, but it definitely feels like we're a lot closer now than we ever have been. So Sasquatch goes down to 2. We can do Black Swan Sasquatch. Last turn would be like Demon, Rocket, Demon, maybe Angela, maybe a Hit Monkey. I think is what we have to push for. But it also gives them a little bit more information than what we would like in where that Sasquatch lands. But I think maybe that's all right. Let's go with this. He said, I missed playing a few months. Think since Mockingbird release. I got Gwynpull and Arisham. Which cards do you think I missed and wish I have to get? And so before the last Over the Air, I would say that if you don't have Mockingbird was huge. Otherwise, something like Nocturne finds her way into a lot of decks. I use White Widow quite a bit, but it's very, very much more a little bit niche. Otherwise, we have the Nocturne, we have Sage, which is a pretty high power potential card. And there are a few others. So we could either do Bishop into the Scaling or something like Angela. But I'm not sure that ever is enough to win because they have a Sasquatch. We know that because this is their Sasquatch. White Widow is coming in Spotlights. Ooh, but not Nocturne. Gotcha. Yeah, White Widow I use that's probably my most used card in the game. I don't know that we have a great winning line here, but we're going to give it a shot. So Sasquatch mid, I'm glad I abandoned that middle lane. Demon to the right, we have the Kitty Pride. Can we scale over that? Potentially. And then, depending on what they have in the left lane, I think we have a decent shot here. So the Hood, ooh, interesting. Just to scale the Bishop a little bit further. And so giving up on the left lane, we have the Angela, we have the Rocket. And it gets very close. Is the last one Demon? No, it's Titania. That's fine. We outscale them by 1, a measly 1 power. We overcommit in the left lane, but we will gladly take the 2 cubes where we can. Got absolutely crazy on the end. It was really hard to read when both of these decks are kind of popping off in that last turn, but we'll gladly take it. Let's jump over into the next one. Next up, we have Tungsten Walk. Rank number 74. Let's see what we're able to make happen. We need a copy of their Red Hulk, which is a little bit scary to see early on. Let's go ahead and start with, I think, Hood, because we don't know if they're going to play a card or not. Into the Kitty Pride. You just fixed it? Yeah, I may have just fixed it. So they have Kitty Pride. We know they're going to continually play cards. If I was them, probably here. But honestly, let's go Angela first. Bishop on 3. Into maybe a stack in mid on 4. Into hopefully Falcon plus Black Swan on turn number 5. So the Angela comes down here as well. We do get Beast to go alongside our Falcon play, but I typically don't see much value in doing both in most cases. I'm going to go ahead and throw Bishop into the right lane. They have Hope Summers, so they're looking to maybe pump some extra power. Could be like a Shri deck. We know that they have the big Red Hulk. We do get Falcon here, so big push for us. We can go Rocket, Demon, Falcon. Into next turn doing... I guess we would end up needing to do Beast the next turn if that's what we ended up going with. Falcon right? Falcon Swan is the best play? Yeah. But I think we're going to go Beast to the left because we do have Falcon for 5. So maybe... You could even do this. But I kind of like the Demon in mid. I'm going to do Beast to the left. That's going to give us a free hood to use next turn. So we can do Falcon, Black Swan, throw our hood out as well. Is there something about Snap that you're particularly enjoying right now? I really enjoy, one, the quick games. I enjoy that the meta shifts pretty quickly. And so you kind of have to be able to think on your feet whenever those changes come in. So that's the biggest piece that I've always enjoyed, is like it being just like a really quick transition for the over there. Like a couple of days ago, the like Lockjaw decks weren't viable, and so then like trying to figure out a way to make a good Lockjaw deck with those changes is something that I really enjoy being able to do. The decks are small enough that a lot of times like one card change, you can feel the difference very quickly. And so I like that piece as well. So we can go, let's see, Falcon plus Swan brings these two in. And so if we do Hood as well, if we do it beforehand, if we do a Hood before Falcon, that's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We wouldn't be able to draw on the last turn. So I think we drop a Hood after this piece. What games were you playing before? So I've dabbled in just about every game I could think of, honestly. We've dabbled in either World of Warcraft. We've dabbled in like MOBAs, like League of Legends. I played Heroes of the Storm for a little bit. I tried other card games. I just really enjoy a lot of like just games in general. You can dump plus Red Hulk on 6, even if you don't draw. That's true. We can dump everything. Any single player games? Yeah, so I've played quite a few single player games as well. The most recent one was Baldur's Gate 3. I did a complete playthrough on Honored. So maybe it was that we should have done that the Falcon after the Hood. So even if we don't draw, we can dump plus Red Hulk. But and then Mad Max. I see you use the Factor code. Today's stream is sponsored by Factor. And so I opened up the Factor box that I ordered and I tried my first Factor meal, and it was a lot better than what it was very good. It was a lot better than what I would have even expected. It's very quick. It's like 2 minutes. You pop it in the microwave, so no cleanup. You don't have to worry about fast food or anything like that. And it was very easy to do, and then just be able to jump back into the game. So I ran it in between ad breaks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this becomes 2, 4, 6, 8. It becomes 11. So if their Hulk scales, or if Hulk scales, it'd be better than the Hitmonkey. Otherwise, it wouldn't. The one good thing out of this is that we know they have Red Hulk. We don't want it to scale anymore. So playing Red Hulk might give us some advantage. We can go something like Rocket, Demon, Kitty Pryde. They could use Nocturne and change Mojo World. If so, it comes down to a point differential. Our Bishop does scale quite a bit from us flooding. But I don't know that we... I'm actually going to switch one of the demons. Because we have the extra power in the middle location in the lake, and we have Angela scaling, I think we're going to switch one. We'll see if that extra 5 power was a determining factor. That's what I feel like we should probably go with here. So going strong? Yeah, we're still going strong. We're still going strong. We're rank 129 now. This deck is doing some great things for us. We're 9-3, 75% win rate so far. So it drops a little bit here and there, but you said that you just got the Shanna Pixel avatar? That makes 20 pixel avatars that I did not ask for. Oh no. I can't believe you changed your Wong avatar. I like to switch it. Ooh, okay. So the Shang-Chi is not in the left lane. Ooh, is this a casserole? That is not a great finisher. I have so many cards. My goodness. Maybe they thought that we had initiative and they were going for the Shang-Chi counter on Bishop. But that is a casserole. And speaking of casserole, we just did the factor plug, or else I would do another factor plug.